Imagine running the largest empire in human history, but doing it from total darkness. For an entire decade, Queen Victoria practically vanished into a private, isolated bedroom, completely unseen by her people. But you know the truth, hidden away in the historical archives? It's far more suspenseful than a simple disappearance. We are talking about 400 million people, a quarter of the Earth's entire landmass. The sun was literally always rising on some corner of the British Empire. Yet, the monarch, at the very center of this massive, expanding global map, had plunged herself into absolute darkness. And here is the real hook of this historical mystery. For 10 consecutive years, the CEO of this colossal empire completely vanished from the public eye. 10 long years of an empty throne room. But as we dig into the archives, we uncover a rather shocking secret. The Vanishing Queen, December 14, 1861. When her husband and co-ruler, Prince Albert, died of typhoid fever at just 42, Victoria was absolutely shattered. The psychological depth of her grief was honestly chilling. She wore a black mourning dress for 40 years, she laid out his clothes every single morning, ordered his shaving water brought daily, and even slept right beside a pale plaster cast of his dead hand. This wasn't just sadness, it was a total retreat to dark, isolated Scottish and island hideaways, a world away from the bright lights of the imperial court. She broadcasted this total withdrawal to the entire world, fully leaning into the persona of an absent monarch. She even started signing off her official letters to foreign heads of state with one singular heavy phrase: the broken-hearted queen. The red box secrets, the archival paper trail. Now publicly, the illusion was perfect. Empty carriages, closed gates, an abandoning queen. But secretly, the contrast is staggering. Behind those closed bedroom doors, her ink-stained letters were crossing the globe, actively mapping out the fate of the British Empire in real time. Think about the relentless daily mechanics of this. Every single morning, official government red boxes physically crossed borders just to reach her remote hideaways. She sat there and read every single government document. She annotated instructions in her own handwriting and outright overruled prime ministers on major imperial decisions. She was managing colonies and global wars entirely from behind closed curtains. But let's pause and think about the suspense here. If the public only saw an empty throne and locked palace gates, who did they actually think was running the empire? An empty throne. The Republican threat. Well, public anger eventually boiled over into a remarkably popular 1871 pamphlet titled, "What Does She Do With It?" People were absolutely furious, directly questioning why she was receiving this massive income from the public purse for a job she seemingly just wasn't doing. The threat of a British Republic was suddenly very, very real. Meanwhile, 4 different prime ministers were completely caught in the middle of this mess. Benjamin Disraeli, for instance, found her relentlessly demanding and engaged. All these leaders knew she was heavily involved in every tiny detail, but they couldn't admit it publicly without triggering a massive constitutional crisis. They had to keep the secret. So what do you think? Was Queen Victoria simply paralyzed by grief? Or was she secretly governing entirely on her own terms? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the archives, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The Twist of Fate, November 1871. Just as the tension peaks, exactly 10 years later, a terrifying twist of fate strikes. Her eldest son, the Prince of Wales, contracts typhoid. Literally the exact same illness that killed Prince Albert. But on December 14th, the exact 10-year anniversary of Albert's death, the prince miraculously survives. This eerie repetition of history magically united the country. And that looming Republican movement, it collapsed practically overnight. The calculated return, power on her own terms. Victoria knew exactly how close to the edge the monarchy had come, and she strategically used this surge of public relief to return to visibility. But this leaves us with the ultimate constitutional puzzle. For Victoria, the sovereign's view was that governance is the job, reading documents, directing policy from the shadows. But for her critics, performance is the job. Visible ceremonies are what give the monarchy legitimacy. Does a monarch actually have to be seen to be doing their job? Well, she resolved this puzzle entirely on her own conditions. She absolutely refused to return to traditional Buckingham Palace court life, opting instead to retain a private, controlled environment. Yet from those same quiet, isolated rooms, she oversaw a staggering imperial expansion. She formally added India to the crown, accelerated the scramble for Africa, and eventually hosted these massive golden and diamond jubilees, becoming the most recognizable figure on Earth. The final verdict. January 1901. Victoria passes away at age 81, holding the hand of Kaiser Wilhelm II in the exact same isolated house she retreated to during her deepest grief. Think about this. She outlived Albert by 4 decades. She completely outlived the critics and the Republican movement that almost unseated her, answering that constitutional question entirely in her favor. It's often said the most dangerous rulers are the ones you cannot see. So, was her 10-year disappearance a paralyzing act of grief, a ruthless method of secret governance, or just absolute political genius? Drop your final verdict in the comments and be sure to subscribe for more journeys into the hidden corridors of history. I'll see you in the next one.